one of my favorite just franchises and just my favorite things to watch as like in general. This is gonna be tiering the arcs of Dragon Ball Z, GT, and Super. I might as well explain now. I have watched Dragon Ball before, but I barely remember it. I was watching on Toonami when it came on Toonami on dub. It was like years ago. But Z had came on Toonami when either they brought Dragon Ball back or it was uh it was just like Z was running and then they brought Dragon Ball. And I seen and remember most of these, but then I rewatched the Dragon Balls in Japanese. But the thing is, I only watched Emperor Pilaf Saga and the Tournament Saga. Those are the only ones I blankly remember off the top of my head. Now, most of these, you guys already know when I'm tearing, I tear off the top of my brain. So like whatever comes to mind comes to mind, and I feel like these should be tiered later and tiered on their own, kind of like what I did with Paper Mario, when the Mario tier list, where I will tier that later because I want to give a real good criticism on these. But Dragon Ball is fantastic, and I think I need to watch them again to refresh my memory, right? So I'm going to start more with Z because Z, I'm able to remember more of the moments because just I see the moments often in games again, or, just clips of YouTube or clips of somewhere people talk about it more. So my memory is more sparked up with Z, right? So when I watched Dragon Ball Z, I watched it in dub, and when it came on Toonami. And then later on, I didn't watch it in Japanese. I watched it in Japanese when I got to Super. But what I did was I played one of the games in Japanese. Oh, I played Kakarot in Japanese with Japanese voice acting and everything. And, I'm going to watch back Dragon Ball Z in Japanese with Japanese voice acting because I think Japanese voice acting is more superior. But, the dub, Funimation dub, like, Sean Schemmel and them, they do a great job, right? That's why I'm able to still bear just the dub Dragon Ball Z because they do a pretty good job. And this is not going to be tearing Kai. I'm going to be tearing off Dragon Ball Z. I was a kid when I was watching these, and I was able to catch these on the WB or on Toonami. So I was able to kind of watch this live as they was episodically. So I'm also going to tell you why I tier things. I tier things off the moments, right? So we're going to start the actual tier list. I know I've been talking for a couple of bit, but let's start. So the first thing is the Raditz Saga. Now, I like this. I like the way this tier list is structured because it kind of doesn't just go into just one big saga. It goes to the arcs within the saga as well. And the Raditz Saga, which is in the Saiyan arc, I'm going to give it a B tier. I do remember good moments of Dragon Ball, and the Piccolo Jr. fight and the King Piccolo, I do remember those more vividly than the others in between. So what I liked about the Raditz Saga is that, hey, you have Piccolo Jr., who just had a decent ass fight with Goku, and it's like Raditz comes in and is like, yo, Goku, you're an alien. So off the bat, you get revealed that Goku's an alien. And everyone kind of always knew there was something a little bit more off with Goku, and kind of learn here that he has a brother, and it starts talking more into the Saiyans, onto what he really is, and I like that also. This starts off when Gohan has a son. I mean, Goku has Gohan as a son. Gohan doesn't have a son; he has a daughter. Goku has Gohan as a son, and he's introducing his friends to Gohan and everything, and then Raditz just comes and just takes Gohan, beats the crap out of Goku, and also Piccolo came up and he's like, yeah, man, we got a threat because this guy's stronger than me. So what's cool is the villain from the last show, from the last series, and the hero, which is Goku, they have to come together to try to hit Raditz because Raditz is just too strong. Goku ends up sacrificing himself, and this here, the main character dies, which is also good. But the thing is, this arc is really short. Not this arc. This saga's part is really short, so that's why I'm gonna kind of give it a B tier. It did have good moments, but the fight was, the fight was what it was. It was pretty much just Raditz and fight Gohan, and Gohan, not Gohan. Raditz came, Piccolo came through. They both jump him, and they sacrifice. And Gohan's very powerful. So Raditz then tells Goku what's going to happen, that his buddies are coming. So this is where we get into pretty much the Saiyan Vegeta saga. So this is kind of the Saiyan saga. I'm going to give this an A tier. Actually, I'm going to give this a Z tier. This moment in Dragon Ball Z is where things got up to a whole notch, right? So Piccolo takes Gohan after Gohan's like a little pussy ass kid, just throws him into the wild and lets him like fend for himself for months, dude. Just for months. That's freaking alpha. Then what he does after, he kind of just grabs Gohan and starts training him because he's like, the Saiyans are coming and they're gonna be stronger, right? So everyone starts kind of training. Goku's dead, but he's training with King Kai. So he's up there. He's in that little arc. The little filler parts are really cool and really funny too. But pretty much Nappa like annihilates everybody. Everyone's dying left and right. The fight between Nappa and all the friends are really good because they're trying so hard to beat Nappa. Nappa's just so strong. And I think that's like kind of the highlight a lot of what this saga was. But when Goku comes in and he just knocks Nappa just left and right with the Kaioken, the true Z tier, I'm calling it Z tiers. I'm not calling it just S tiers. These are Z tiers. The true best part of the fight is when Gohan, Goku, and Krillin start fighting Vegeta. The thing is, this fight just almost like never ended. It was just like, bam, they beat him. He has another phase. He has the monkey phase. They beat him. He's got another phase. He's still alive. Like, Vegeta wouldn't go down without a fight, man. He just wouldn't go down. On top of it, they had to pull out so much things. It's kind of like in wrestling when you can say like overbooked, but they did some really good overbooking in just like what this saga was. So, the Dragon Ball Z saga of like the Vegeta, this Saiyan Saga was Z tier. This tier is not S tiers. There's Z tiers. There is just gonna be Z tier. On top of that, like the beam struggle, the iconic beam struggle was in this arc. There's like the dialogue between Vegeta and Goku. On top of that, like when you're watching it live, you don't really know that Nappa, when he kills Piccolo, because Piccolo sacrifices himself for Gohan, there's going to be a lot of spoilers. I don't care. There's going to be spoilers in the tier list. If you're watching this tier list, you know why. There's going to be spoilers. I'm going to spoil some things. If you haven't watched Dragon Ball Z, go watch it before you hear what I got to say. So, Piccolo sacrifices himself to save Gohan. Now the villain's becoming a hero. It's such a good story as well. And on top of that, when Piccolo dies, the Dragon Balls kind of disappear. So at the moment, you don't know that they can go get him back. And it's just like, they're fucked, bro. They're really fucked. You can't do anything about it. But just the Z tier. If go watch it, rewatch it again, you're gonna rewatch and see how good this saga really was. And it is just one of the best sagas in Dragon Ball. Probably but we'll go to there. After that happens, Piccolo dies and Kami disappears, so they have to go to Namek to find those Dragon Balls so that they can wish everybody back. This brings up to the Namek Saga. The Namek Saga is going to get a good B tier. It's going to get a good B tier. I think it is better than the Raditz Saga. This is the saga where Vegeta goes in and starts beating up everybody. He starts beating up Dory, he starts beating up Zarbon, and Vegeta's pretty much the star of the show. All the other comedic parts of I kind of like, they're like filler episodes, but not really, because they're really good. Mr. Popo shows Bulma with the ship. it's pretty much the build up to that, to just what the Namek climax is gonna be. It is a B tier. I do like all the Vegeta parts. The Vegeta parts kind of shine in this one, and that's kind of why I'm leaving it a B tier. The Captain Ginyu Saga, I am gonna put it at a C tier. I think all the fights were just too wacky. But Dragon Ball Z is pretty wacky too. Like, it's built off wackiness, right? But it has some cringe moments with the Ginyu Force, and I do like the Ginyu Force, but I think it was the least part of the whole Namek arc, right? I think it was the least part, but the fights were they could have gone a little bit better. The body transfer between Goku and Ginyu, it was decent. I give it a C tier, right? That's the best I'm giving it. Now we go to the Frieza Saga. Frieza Saga is an actual absolute Z tier as well. I don't know if I'm gonna put it after or before the Vegeta Saga. I'm thinking about it, right? Because this Frieza fight was kind of the same thing like the Vegeta part, right? That every time they beat Frieza, he just comes back with a new form. This man was alpha. On top of that, I would like to give the voice acting to the original voice actor of the Funimation dub. I don't know if it's the same actor, but I do like. They probably are the same voice actor. I'm not the huge encyclopedia for Dragon Ball Z, unfortunately. But I will give my opinion on these tier lists from what I know. I'm not the most knowledgeable person, but like the first Frieza voice acting was fantastic. The Kai one and the one they're kind of using now, he's okay, but like I don't know why the first Frieza Saga, the first like Frieza voice actor is more iconic to me. But if we continuing on, just like every time they beat him, he just had a new form, man, a new form. On top of that, we got Vegeta, he kept trying to overuse his Zenkai boost to try to fight him. Piccolo comes back. Piccolo fuses with Nail, and they get a new form, and he beats one form, but then the other form, Frieza, fucks him up really bad. Then everyone is going to die. Goku comes through. Goku's fight is really long, but it's really good. On top of that, the Spirit Bomb, big Spirit Bomb, didn't take out Frieza. Like, Frieza's alpha, bro. Frieza kills Krillin. Then you got Super Saiyan Goku. Iconic moment, of course. And then Goku is just alpha as hell throughout the entire part of that fight. Bodies Frieza and lets him live, too. So, still and all that plays a part to what happens later in Dragon Ball Z. That's why I'm tired of people saying Dragon Ball Z doesn't have a good story. It has an amazing story. It's not as narrative, like it doesn't have as much narrative as all the other like S tier animes that people like to say, but it's just shonen. Nah, I had good moments, man, especially when you're watching it live. It's great. But still, the Frieza Saga was Z tier. I'll probably talk about it more as we keep going on. Garlic Jr. Saga was a filler saga. I'm gonna put a D tier. I didn't care much about it. It was just I didn't really much care about it. It's just Garlic Jr. I'm pretty sure Gohan was like the main fight. I can't remember it much, to be honest, and I don't care for it much. This is going to be a D tier. Trunks, the Trunks Saga. So the Trunks Saga is when Trunks comes into the future. We get introduced to Trunks, and he says Goku's going to have a virus and die. The Trunks Saga, I would give it a high A tier. These are not counting the movies. So there's going to be a different tier list for the movies. Not in this season, probably next season. And when Trunks comes in and just bodies Frieza, that was it. The other thing is, a lot of people think that Trunks saved the world because Goku, if Goku didn't arrive in time or something, if Trunks never was there, they thought Frieza was gonna kill everybody. I don't believe so. Trunks was really strong, and when he started fighting Goku to test his power, Goku was still levels ahead of him. So Goku would have just bodied Frieza just as easily. But we got introduced to Trunks. And then, the training arcs were pretty much this saga. And the thing about the training arc is that we have that one good episode where Goku tries to get his license, that with Piccolo. That was a funny ass episode. If everyone's watched it, you know that's the highlight of this saga right there. Trunks comes back and then he warns everybody androids are gonna come destroy the world. Okay, so then we got the Android saga. Android part, I'm gonna give it a B tier. That's they do their training and then the androids come and Vegeta turns Super Saiyan. The Vegeta Super Saiyan fight with Android 19 was decent, and everything else is just like trying to figure out who these androids are and kind of like goes more into their character. I'm gonna give it a B tier. I'm gonna give it a C tier. The thing is, yeah. So I know a reason why I'm gonna give it a C tier. I'm gonna give it a C tier. It's more like trying to find out what's going on because it led to this saga. Now this saga here is the high B tier one, the Imperfect Cell saga. So this is the one Piccolo needs to fuse with Kami because he's like, yo, the new threat is too strong and I need to be my full power. So he fuses with Kami and throughout that little few episodes, he goes alpha as hell. And then on top of that, Goku's kind of like down, so he can't really he can't fight. So everyone's got to fend for themselves, right? Because like the best fighter is down. So the best part about this saga here is Piccolo and 17's fight was fantastic. That fight was very underrated, and there's a lot of people that need to see that fight because that fight was really good. There's a lot of the most things that get praised is the Goku or Vegeta fights, right? But that fight between Android 17 and Piccolo was really good. When Perfect Cell came in, that whole little part in the island was really good. Tien came in and Tien did the only last thing he will ever do. And just that, yeah, and then he got slaughtered, but still, he put up a good fight with the little tri beams. But then Cell became the second form, and he was really powerful, right? So, the Perfect Cell saga is also gonna get a B tier. It's gonna be a little bit better than that one. I put it an A tier. I did like the Perfect Cell saga. Reason is when Cell turned into perfect form, like the voice acting got better, and like the character of Cell got better. And that's the fight with Trunks when Trunks had to learn that sometimes you have to deal with speed is a lot more important than strength because if you're not fast enough but you're really strong, you're not gonna catch the guy who's fast. So there's a lot of good parts. Vegeta's pride got in the way. The hyperbolic time chambers, all that part was really good too. I'd give it an A tier. I'm gonna actually put it above the Trunks part. Trunks does come back in this one too. Everyone's kind of learning how to turn Super Saiyan and everything, so we're gonna leave that there. On top of that, Cell just announces the tournament. He's like, I'm alpha. I'm gonna destroy the world if someone doesn't fight me. And then we get to this part, which is the Cell games. Cell games, I am going to give it an A tier, high A tier. Don't kill me. I'm gonna let you know why. Most people will probably put it as Z tier because of the Gohan part. And I think that's the best part is the Gohan part. The only thing is I would put it still in high A tier due to the fact that maybe we'll put it in Z tier. Maybe we'll put it in Z tier because it did flush out. All right, so I'm gonna put in Z tier. I'm gonna put in behind the Frieza saga, and I'll let you know why. Z, you start realizing that Z was pretty much the Gohan show and not the Goku show. Ever since the Raditz arc, mainly the entire part of Z has been talking about, yeah, Goku fighting and everyone else fighting the villain, but it's kind of seeing the character development of Gohan. It's like he's just like a kid, a child that like his father keeps training him to fight, and he kind of doesn't want to fight, but he always has to. And because of that, like his anger kind of comes in the way, and he turns Super Saiyan 2, and he beats Cell, and Goku like knew his potential, and he like wipes the floor with Cell, but then Goku sacrifices himself. The Cell games is a Z tier saga. It's gonna be Z tier, even though it's like the last part. Oh yeah, absolutely. Actually, is Z tier for that Goku and Cell fight too. That Goku and Cell fight was fantastic. When he did the Warp Kamehameha and he like blew half the part, like pretty much blew his entire body off. And Cell came back. He's like, man, you're really strong. I can't beat you. And it's just like, damn, dude. The main character can't do this right now. He just gave up. And then Gohan comes in, and you're like, all right, Super Saiyan 2 is a cool transformation. It's really good. On top of that, it kind of ended like the big like kind of era of Dragon Ball Z at that point. And they try to pass it on to be the Gohan show, and we'll talk about that soon. But even the last Kamehameha with the father son, when he had to talk to him from King Kai, which is kind of weird. I think it would have been a little bit better if he. Alright, so the father son Kamehameha is iconic as hell, but I'm not gonna lie and say that it would. I mean, it's already a Z tier, right? But it would have been a little bit better if like Goku had stayed dead and not been there like talking to him. Like it would have got a little bit more heavy weight, but I get it. It was still pretty good because at that point, everyone dies all the time, and by that point, so I get it. Also, when Goku gave Cell the Senso Beam, it was weird for that time, but it works, and we'll get back to that. We're gonna get back to that. Remember the Senso Beam part, because we're gonna get back to that in Super. Otherworld Saga, I don't care what nobody says, this is a high A tier. I absolutely love this part. That Otherworld tournament where he's fighting Pycon and all those other things, it's really good. But is it? Yeah, I personally like that fight a lot. Yeah, I'll put it above the Trunk Saga, but it's not better than the Perfect Cell Saga. But it was really it's filler, but it was still really fun, right? It was still really fun to watch. It was a lot of cool things. The Goku and Pycon fight was fun, and then like it kind of goes out from there. Like now it turns to the Gohan show, and now we got the Great Saiyan Man Saga. I'm gonna put it at C tier. Nah. C tier. No, I'm gonna put it at D tier. I'm putting it at D tier. It was what it was. Because the best part, like after that, like the Great Saiyan Man part was decent, was cool, was decent. But the World Tournament is it the World? Yeah, this is the World Tournament Saga. The World Tournament Saga was really good, and I'm gonna put that at back of B tier. I think it's better than the Raditz Saga. I think it's better than all these. I think it's gonna put right high B tier right there. The Goten and Trunks fight was underrated. It was a good fight for the juniors. Really fun to watch as well. Goku came back, and it's like, hey, Supreme Kai comes out of nowhere and just looks at Piccolo. And Piccolo's like, I ain't fighting you, bro. So another good fight was the Videl and Spovovich fight, which another underrated fight that people kind of missed out on, which it was really good. And people didn't miss out. People kind of forgot about it. And so I had a little technical issues, so I had to come back. And I was talking about the Videl fight, and a lot of people did miss out on that. And on top of that, Gohan got pissed and he turned Super Saiyan. So that's when like the Supreme Kai started like letting everyone know the plot after his energy got taken. The other part of like that saga was a lot better now that I think about it. That's why I'm gonna move it up to A tier. And I think it's better than the Perfect Cell Saga, because when Vegeta got his mind taken, that was probably that's when we got that iconic part when he's talking about the Saiyan Pride, and the dub voice actor went crazy on that part. That was fantastic. Even in Japanese, it was fantastic. And we got the Goku and Vegeta fight with this one, and then that's when their energies were so much that they brought Majin Buu back. We're gonna leave that at A tier. The Majin Buu saga, which I putting it at B tier. I know it didn't. It looks like it just randomly showed up at B tier, but it was because of the technical difficulties I had. But this is kind of where it stopped out, and I'm gonna like explain that Majin Buu saga was really cool. Now that I think about it, it probably should go in A tier. That Vegeta part was so much better. Mm, yeah, we're putting it there. Um, we got Super Saiyan 3 Goku also. They're in this part here. High, I think is the highest A tier. We got both the Vegeta sacrifice and Super Saiyan 3 Goku in this same arc. And those are two iconic moments. Like, they're like Z tier moments, honestly. I'm going to put that part there. Because when Vegeta sacrificed himself, that was probably one of the best moments in Dragon Ball. And I'm going to put that. I think it was a little bit better than the Cell Game Saga. Only because we also watched Vegeta grow as a character. And we started seeing that, like, his character developed into a person who came as a tyrant to blow up the planet, and then he got a wife and kids, and that kind of just built what type of character he became. And that's another good character development storytelling that is underrated in Dragon Ball Z, just how the characters in themselves become better people. And this saga defined that. On top of that, we got Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and that, you know, the music that shall not be spoken of, that the Super Saiyan 3 music, that Bruce Faulkner remake, like, not remake, the Bruce Faulkner music that unfortunately most people will not hear again unless you go to YouTube and just listen to it. But we got that amazing sound, like just that amazing soundtrack, and just Goku screaming for a whole episode to turn Super Saiyan 3, which was kind of the flashiest, like, transformations out of all the transformations. That was the best transformation in Z. But we got that part there too. He did it twice. He did it again before he left because he used so much energy. But yeah, now we got some good moments out of the Majin Buu saga. Then we got the Fusion Saga, which the Fusion Saga, it seems in this tier list is mixing the Fusion Saga and the Super Buu Saga, only because all that had a lot of fusions to do, and that's another A tier. But I'm gonna put it. So now that I really think about it, the Buu Saga was really good. I am gonna put it above in the high A tier, and now I still think the Buu Saga, like, build up was really good. It had the best, like I said, my favorite iconic moment is the Majin Buu part. But the Fusion Saga, we got the fusions between the children. I can't believe it. Oh, Go Tanks, Go Tanks, Go Tanks. So we got the Go Tanks fusion. On top of that, we got the Vegito fusion, which the Vegito fight was fantastic against Super Buu. Super Buu as a villain was really was when he had his patient part in the Kami Lookout, and because he's waiting for everybody to finish training, that was great. We had a lot of character development with the original Majin Buu too, but I'm gonna count the Majin Buu saga, that all part of the Majin Buu saga with the Hercule parts, and I'm gonna call, like, this Fusion Saga will be more of the long lines when Super Buu absorbed Majin Buu. That's where I'm gonna, like, tier this saga all the way to when they go into Buu's body, and that part, those parts were really good. The reason why is because if you watch the dub, get to hear Great Galaxy by by Vegeta, and you get Son of a Namek. Those two are iconic themselves, but they're like personally iconic to me. Those parts are really good episodes, no matter what. Then of course, like I said earlier, the Vegito fight was just absolutely fantastic. Gohan coming back, Gohan's little training arc was good. Gohan messing up, all that part, and it's another, like, we still got bigger problems part of the arc. Next is the Kid Buu Saga. Kid Buu Saga is also an A tier. I'm keeping him just like this right now. I think just like the Kid Buu Saga and the Kid Buu arc and the Buu arc was better. It was, like, better than the Cell Saga to me. It just was. The Kid Buu was just a villain that just didn't care. He was just caught about destruction, and that's what also made it good, that he didn't really have a conscience. He just wanted to kill. And that was what made this villain very dangerous, because all the other villains like Frieza and Cell, they just wanted to kind of fight, and blowing up the universe was just an extra thing, right? And Frieza had like motives like to like take over planets and like sell them businesses, like it was like planetary real estate. Um, Kid Buu was just trying to kill, bro. And the fight with Vegeta and Kid Buu, on how Vegeta just did not want to give up and kept fighting Kid Buu, even though Kid Buu kept killing him and beating his ass. That those parts were really good. Hercule shined in this too. They had to get the World Spirit Bomb, and that last sequence when they're all telling Goku to shoot the Spirit Bomb was perfect. That's the perfect. I think that was one of the perfect ways to like end Dragon Ball Z as well. And have him as the last villain, where the entire Earth has to put their hands up and now give up their energy to try to beat Kid Buu, to fight and help Goku this time. Top of A tier, I would put it S tier, but I mean Z tier. I think it's high A tier. We might go back to that. You know, I usually go back and review these in the end of the video. So hopefully I'm recording too, because I was on a mode, man, and then like the technical difficulties happened. But the next thing that happened was the end of Z. And what's funny is we're still not here yet. So honestly, it should be like this. This is exactly how it should be. But unfortunately, it's here, right? So we're gonna give the end of Z just a C tier. It's just the end of Z. It's cool. Ends off with him trying to fight Oob, not to train Oob, because Oob is the reincarnation of Kid Buu. It just happens. I know why. It's because during the dragon, when he went to kill Buu, he's hoping that he gets reincarnated. But it's C tier. C tier is the best. I do think it's just a little bit more heartwarming than these two other ones here. I'm not gonna say it's a B tier. It's C tier at best. It's just an epilogue. The Black Star Dragon Saga. So now we're going to GT. We're going to non-canon mode, or canon, whichever way you want to take it. It's just a different route. At this point, Dragon Ball is just a different route, and there's no canon or non-canons, right? This is the GT route. We'll call it that. We'll call it the GT route. And the GT route, I'm going to tier them pretty fast because I did watch them. They were cool. I won't talk about them much, right? So Black Star Dragon Ball Saga, that's when they have to go find the Dragon Balls because Goku's a kid again. I didn't like it as much. I'm going to put it at the back of D tier. The Baby Saga was a high A tier. I don't think it was better than Kid Buu. That was one of those, the Baby Saga was just, hey, take over a planet that everyone's fucked type of situations. I like those type. I like when my shows have those type of situations, and the Baby Saga was good. Vegeta got taken over. They got the gorillas were involved in it. Super Saiyan 4 Goku came out. I don't think it's better than Kid Buu Saga. I still think Kid Buu Saga had more emotion. The Baby Saga was just like, it was there. It was there. It was really good. It was really good. It's a really good saga. Really good saga. But it's, most people have it in like SZ tiers, and it's good for what it was. Most of GT, that's kind of what it is. The 17 saga was cool. I'm gonna give it a C tier mainly because it was good. It was fun. It was fun to watch. It was kind of a little short too. It was fun to watch. Just Super 17 was a good character. I think everything else was okay. Yeah, I'm gonna put that there. The Shadow Dragon Saga. This is another. I'm gonna put it at B tier. It had good moments. It just felt like the end that it was a good ending, but I would say it would have been a C tier if it wasn't for certain fights. You know what? I could put in the back of A tier. It was pretty good. The dragon fights were good with Goku, and the Gogeta part was fantastic. It was short, but it was really good. I say really good a lot because it's all really good. But now we're going into Dragon Ball Super, and I personally like Dragon Ball Super more than GT. It just felt better. Um, I told you guys I'm gonna tier the movies in another video. So this is not the movies of God of Destruction. This is the arc. The arc was back a B tier. I think it's better than the Raditz Saga. I think it's a little bit better than the Namek Saga because the thing is, the fight with Beerus was. I feel like the fight with Beerus was a lot better in the series more than the movie. The movie was more flashy. It was a better looking fight, but I think there was more explained during the God of Destruction arc in the Super arc. So, but the animation wasn't as god tier as the movie. And if when we get to the movie one, I'll tell you about the movie version. But I would say it's a solid B tier. It did what it had to do, and I like I said, I think the fight was a lot longer and a lot better in this series in the series, but it looked nicer in the movie. The Golden Frieza Saga is a complete F tier, and the movie, like I said, I'll get to that point. But the serious part, it just felt like there was a lot of things missing. I don't like that Goku and Vegeta get blue off screen. It bothered me. It bothered me a lot. It really messed up the show from that point. And the animation wasn't where it needed to be. The movie came out. The movie looked better than this too. The Ginyu part that was added was okay. I think that's okay. Well, it wasn't terrible. I'm gonna put it at the back of D tier. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't too. Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. We're gonna leave it at F tier. Um, so Super finally got like its own original content here because everything else was just rehash of movies. Then we got when Super became very interesting, and this is the Universe 6 saga. At this point, Dragon Ball Z turned to Marvel, and now there's other universes. So we got Hit as a character, and that Hit and Goku fight was kind of what saved the show. It's not saying a D tier. I'm gonna put it at high B tier. It saved the show. Like anything beyond before this point, the show was kind of lacking, and it's like, all right, Dragon Ball's kind of dead. Universe 6 saga, when Goku went Kaioken with Blue and fought Hit, the Hit fight was beautiful. This was a really good fight, and the only thing is, all the other fights in the tournament, they're also not bad because when it was Goku fighting the first Butamu, and that was a really comedic fight, but then he fought like the other version of Frieza, and they found out Frieza was also an evil version because he was kind of betraying a good guy. And the thing about Universe 6 and Universe 7, which Universe 7 is pretty much Goku's universe, is that they're like polar opposites. But the thing is, the evil villain is also evil in that one, so they were kind of caught by surprise. And one thing that bothered me about the Universe 6 saga is that Goku gets knocked out and then he just comes back. It's like, yo, the guy cheated, so I can come back. And it was just pretty much plot armor to get to the Hit fight. The Vegeta versus Hit fight, it was just a complete wash. But Vegeta versus the Magneto, whatever, that robot fight was another underrated fight that's not talked about. It's not talked about too much, but it was a really good fight to if you ever go back and watch that. Also, when the fight where he teaches the little young Saiyan, I also Kaba, how to turn Super Saiyan. That part was really cool. Universe 6 arc was good. I can't remember who wins Hit wins the. I'm pretty sure Hit wins the fight of the Universe 6 saga because then he tries to get a Hit back on himself because Hit's an assassin. That's why they call him Hit. But continuing on, it was a B tier. This is the true F tier. This saga here is like a little filler saga, and it's the true F tier. It was just filler. I don't want to talk about it. They go to another planet and they do something. Then the show came back and they got more grittier. To watch this here, it's a huge difference to me between dubbed and subbed. Everything beyond this, everything from this point, Dragon Ball Z's dubbed was, it was good to me, and I didn't care what the differences were at this point. The Future Trunks saga, I'm gonna put it as Z tier, and it is a Z tier to me, and it's a very hot take, and a lot of people are gonna be pissed, and it is a Z tier to me. This is the Goku Black art. We needed an evil Goku like arc, and people were asking for it. We finally got it. We also got Super Saiyan Rose. On top of that, the return of Future Trunks and how it's a more darker tone, and the music in the soundtrack of this was good. Everything else, the soundtrack always played a good part, especially like I said, the Majin Buu saga. But all the other music was good, but the Future Trunks saga's music kind of like drives it up to a Z tier. On top of that, we get like the true like blue is really struggling here. Like Super Saiyan Blue is struggling to Super Saiyan Rose. We get Zamasu. And when I was talking about earlier about the sub and the dub, Nakazawa, Goku's voice actor in Japanese, her voice acting for Goku Black was Z tier to the max. Like, I loved listening to Goku Black just speak because his sound is so sinister, and that's another reason why it's a Z tier. Just the overall presentation, the animation got better. Trunks, yeah, there's some plot holes in this arc where power scaling is just out of control. We get the fusions that are, oh man, you're right. You know what? High A tier. It's not a Z tier. It's just, there's a lot of plot holes in there that happens. Like, where 1 hour, the 1 hour split, but then it's kind of explained why. And if you really think about it, it's true. Mai as a character as was also really fun. Like they had like human sides, and the humans also were trying to fight like Goku Black, because Goku Black was from another from another, he was from Universe 10, because it's a lot that happens in here. But the Vegeta fight with Goku Black the second time was good. The animation when Trunks goes rage mode, that is one of my favorite parts in Dragon Ball history. I don't care. It is that one part where he punches the ground and goes rage. That part was awesome. The only thing is the follow-up was kind of bad. And then he gets bodied anyway. The last episode of this saga was rushed. Yes, it was rushed where he gets the sword, but I'm okay with it. I like how the spirit bomb turned into a spirit sword, and he like destroys Zamasu with it. Also, Vegito fight, even though it's 5 minutes, they threw that in there for the fans. That wasn't supposed to happen. They kind of threw that in there. It seemed like it wasn't supposed to happen because they threw that in the last episode, and that animation part, the 5 minutes of it was good. Vegeta was so strong. It was great. The lead up to Goku Black, and also like everything in the arc was really good to watch. I'm gonna leave it a high A tier. I think it's better than the Kid Buu saga, better than the Baby saga. I think it's better than all those sagas. I will leave that at A tier. This is, now we're going to my favorite arc ever. Listen. Just listen to me. Universe Survival Arc is my favorite saga in all of Dragon Ball. And I know a lot of people have a lot of hot takes on this saga. But personally, the way this impacted a lot of things was just perfect in general of why this is the absolute best saga of all Dragon Ball history. Listen, from the plot of the saga is, hey yo, I'm about to end Zeno, which is the universe god of all the universes, is like, I'm gonna wipe out all the universes. There's just too much universes right now, and he's just like, I saw the first tournament with these universe. I want to make all the universes fight, and it's not even that. It's just Goku bringing it up. He's like, Goku just wants to fight, and he's like, man, I want to slide everybody. And I'm gonna go to Zeno and be like, "Yo, you remember that thing you said about the universes fighting?" And he's like, "Oh," and they're like, "Oh yeah, let's have it. It's gonna be fun because we're kind of bored." So the thing is, the training part with Gohan and Goku and trying to find all that part was also really good. Power scaling is crazy. Is bad. It's bad. It's bad, but it's bearable in this because there's so much things that happen. I'm probably gonna spend the next 5 minutes talking about this arc and why it's a Z tier. It also is mostly the recent memory, but still with everything, I think the Universe Survival arc is the best one. First of all, the Gohan and Goku fight in the beginning where Gohan had teased. I love that Gohan had teased that Gohan Beast was coming. All that far away when he's fighting Goku, he says he's going to go to a new form, but he's fighting Goku in blue form and he's trying to get kind of like his fighting spirit back because he kind of like stopped fighting. He stopped fighting, he starts to get his fighting spirit back. The Piccolo and Gohan little training arc was absolutely great when he got his powers back. The Gohan and Goku fight was fantastic. Bothered me that Krillin was able to tank a little bit of blue, but I don't want to talk about that. That's not going to drive it down from Y as a Z tier. On top of that, they had to go get Frieza because when they did the exhibition tournament, those three exhibition fights, whereas Goku, Gohan, and Majin Buu, all three of those fights were all really good, probably A plus Z tier fights to me. When Goku has to fight the first wolf, and that was a good fight, but the Gohan one where Gohan has to come back and fight one of the wolves with the poison and his eyes are shut, that to me is one of the best fights in all the Dragon Ball and is very criminally underrated. The other one was the Majin Buu versus the other wolf fight, where that's the first one that happened. So the first was Majin Buu versus like the wolf with all the legs. I wish I remember all the wolves' names, but I don't remember most of them. I remember Boltamu, but I think he was the one too. That I'm going to talk about later. That wolf was the shining light of the first part of the survival arc. How crazy went on that first episode. But that Majin Buu fight with the wolf was also another really S tier fight that already started there. Then you had the Frieza moment where Frieza just completely took everybody out. One of the universes invaded and he just knocked everyone out. The music of the Frieza music was absolutely peaked at this actual arc. So this is not even when the tournament starts. The tournament's about to now. When the tournament starts, the big battle royale fighting is a perfect concept. They did really good with how they kind of positioned the fightings, and they also had like some of the God of Destructions fight. The first part of the Tournament of Power was fantastic. The highlights were, I'm gonna talk about the highlights because I can do a whole nother video why the Universe Survival Saga was really good. But the highlights of that saga was the Roshi fight. The Roshi fight was absolutely fantastic. Both the Roshi fights. The Roshi episodes were tear-jerking. It was great. Not the Krillin one. That I think once it gets to Roshi, that's everything between that was like okay. Everyone tries to go after Goku, but they like body a whole universe in one episode. The other one was the other highlight was before they got to Jiren. There was another highlight that happened before they got to Jiren. I can't think of it now. I just thought of it. It was Khalifa and Kale. The Kale part when she turned into like the super brawly form, that part was awesome. It was the 100th episode I remember, and that part was great. There's the of course the moment when Goku first got Ultra Instinct and he's having the fight with Jiren. Those two episodes, they had like a 1 hour special and it broke streaming. That episode alone broke Crunchyroll. It broke all these streaming sites, and I was like live there to watch it because I was watching it on a different on. I was just watching it where it didn't crash on me. I'll just say that. And it was absolutely fantastic. That moment was also one of the most best moments in Dragon Ball. I know most people put on their nostalgia glasses and they think the Z parts are a lot better, but to me, I watched Dragon Ball Z from as I was a kid and just watched it episodically, even episodically on Dragon Ball Super. Like I watched these like religiously, like, every like week when I was able to watch them. And like the moments that impacted, they all hit, but that moment when he went Ultra Instinct and that Jiren like tanked the spirit bomb and all that, that was peak, bro. The music was just elevated. It was beautiful. That was one of my favorite moments. And even talking about more, those are more highlights, of course, because he loses that fight. Uh, the last part of like the saga was also very S tier. Um, when they all got to take out all the other universes. Android 17 went crazy when he's on the big ball light and he like takes out one of the members of Universe 2, I believe. That part was good. There's the last part with the robots. That part was awesome. Oh my god, there's a lot of good moments in this saga, but my favorite moments was the Piccolo and Gohan versus the two Nameks. That fight, another underrated fight when Piccolo got told, "Hey, yo, get up and go," by Kami and Nail. Yo, there's so much good parts in this saga, and this is why this is my favorite saga of Dragon Ball, just in general. And go more on it, but that fight was good. There was the God of the Topo fight, the God of Destruction Topo and everybody else, and like Vegeta fight, absolutely beautiful. He sacrificed himself again, but this time didn't die. I popped when. Oh my god, bro! There's a lot of parts I popped for. Gohan, the way Gohan went out, I didn't like. The Kefla and Goku fight. First of all, the Khalifa and Goku and Kale fight was already good, and then the fusion fight when they fused, when Goku did the Kamehameha, when he grinded on the beam, another iconic moment. A lot of iconic moments happen in this fight, in this arc, and they just, it was very fan servicey, but it was very good fan servicey. I don't like the way Piccolo went out. Frieza just fighting everybody and just being alpha and halfway through and just like killing everything. Even when the Kaba moment, even just Frieza in general was just really good in this arc. Frieza became like my favorite character in this arc. Just on top of that, when 17 sacrificed himself and then 17 came back and the last episode was like, yo, I was just trying to run down the clock. 17 became the second best character in this saga. Like all these other characters got built to their absolute maximum potential, and I like that this saga gave everyone an ability to shine. I'm gonna explain that a little bit why as well. I'm not trying to go too long to steal this. We're almost done. I'm not gonna take too long doing the other ones. In the other Dragon Ball Z's, characters started fading away. It felt like all the other arcs, like Piccolo, became almost useless in Z in the Blue Saga, but the Universe Survival arc kind of let everybody shine. Even Tien had a moment in there too where he kind of sacrificed himself, and he had a good moment in that one too. The Universe Survival arc, it gave a lot of characters their moments. Also, of course, we can't not talk about the Goku and Jiren fight. Goku going mastered Ultra Instinct on the little rock when he's like blocking all the attacks of Jiren while Jiren's just like nonstop attacking super fast. You know that part when it starts raining with punches and Goku's on the rock? That part is also one of my favorite parts of all of Dragon Ball history. This arc is I haven't seen this arc in quite a while. Like I haven't seen just like Dragon Ball in quite a while. That's why I'm kind of waiting for Sparking Zero to. But this arc might get another rerun of a watch because there's so much good moments. When he goes Ultra Instinct, I think Ultra Instinct to me is my favorite transformation because of the way it happens, how the whole galaxy just arrives and how alpha Goku becomes. And then the thing is, Jiren is still so strong. He puts up a good fight. Another good part is when Jiren's fighting Vegeta. That part is really good as well. And then you have an ending that's so good. I don't care. This ending is fantastic. Of all my favorite ending of all Dragon Ball history. It's like Goku is about to annihilate Jiren, and then Goku just like loses his ability to fight. So they already weakened the hell out of Jiren, and now like Goku's about to get knocked out, and Frieza comes in, and Frieza's like, throughout the entire time, we're wondering where Frieza is. Like Frieza's like disappeared for like half the arc, and like he pops up again. He's just like, all right, now it's time to fight because he was getting walled by Jiren. Like Jiren was destroying everybody. It was like the thing is like 3-on-1. One at a time became 4-on-1. And everyone's just fighting Jiren by himself. Jiren's like taking off everybody. And Frieza comes in, and then that's the part where Android 17 came back, and he's just like, yo, we both got to take him out. And that part, when Frieza and Android 17 are both fighting Jiren, it's just so good. Because like, they couldn't wound him the first parts of his fight. But like now 17 is just like wounding him, and so is Frieza. There's a part where Jiren says like, yo, that's not gonna work twice on me. And then Android 17 is just like, that shit ain't going, yeah, same here. And he just gets him. Jiren's about to win, and then Goku comes up, and then they have to fight him. So it becomes like a 3-on-1. And what makes it even more is just this unpredictable. Throughout the entire time, we're all trying to wonder who's gonna win the Tournament of Power, and we're all seeing, and no one predicted that the winner would be 17. The reason the winner became 17 is just like that last sequence of the entire arc, of the entire fight, where it's just all three of them fighting Jiren, and then Frieza has to team up with Goku. I lost my brain. Team up with Goku, and they can't go full power because everyone's too weak, and they both sacrifice themselves by pushing each other, like pushing everyone off all three of them. They push each other. They push outside of the tournament of the stage, and throughout the whole saga, the stage is getting broken, destroyed, exploded. This was an undestroyable like stage, and everyone just like sees. Everyone goes down, and it's just Android 17 who stays standing. And of course, he made the wish to make sure all the universes don't get deleted. And as the universes are getting deleted, it's just, all those parts hit as well. Yeah, man, this saga was really good. It was just too good. Too good of a saga. That's where Dragon Ball Super ended, and then we got the movies, but then we got this movie here. This is a Brawly saga, but I'm not gonna tier list this here. This will be tier listed with the movies. Coming. That's why it says Dragon Ball tier list coming soon. The Brawly saga we're gonna go in because I can drill just as hard as I did for the Universe saga with the Brawly movie. So you already foreshadow of what this movie did. So now, this is like super spoilers. So you can stop the video here if you want. It's been an hour. I gave you guys an hour. And this was with technical difficulties too, but Galactic Patrol arc and anything forward is only in the manga. The anime had ended at this point, and the next 3 is manga related, and one of those, the one at the end, is also movie related. So actually, the superhero saga, which is the superhero movie, it got turned into a manga, but I'm gonna tier it later. It's gonna be another Dragon Ball tier list. It's gonna be the movie tier list. So we're gonna get a Dragon Ball tier list later. We're gonna get a movie tier list. They're not gonna be in the same season though. But the Galactic Patrol arc, I'm going to give it for a manga. I'm gonna give it a high B tier. A lot of good parts in this manga. It's like so after the universe survival arc, things the power like it kind of dropped because now with the Galactic Patrol arc, I thought like the next arc was gonna be something with universe like the with outside of universe 7, but the plot then became universe 7, and is like Moro's an escaped prisoner that was able to like use magic. So since he used magic, he was able to cancel out the transformations and the powers of Goku and Vegeta. And this saga is kind of like the Cell Saga. I would say like this is the super version of the Cell Saga. The reason is because power scaling does go a little bit off, but this is like now Goku's trying to mix in Ultra Instinct with like his power levels. It became more of Ultra Instinct became more like a Kaioken. It got like it kind of felt like it got nerfed, but Moro as a villain was really good. I like Moro as a villain. I like that he had like his lackey Android 73. I think it was Android 73 or 37. Android 73 and or it might be a different Android number. And that Android's ability was able to copy the powers of anybody like it was able to see. So with the fights that happen, I like all the other characters come in and help fight because the fight happens on Earth. It's kind of like how like Resurrection F but better. Then because they get some time to train because it's like when Cell came and he's and they have some time to train. The best parts of these is that they kind of go into more of the lore with the Supreme Kais, like the Majin Buu gets a little bit more shine in this one where they talk about more of his of the fat Kai that got like absorbed by him, which is the kind part of Majin Buu. They go more into the lore of him, and the kind of the climax of the Galactic Patrol arc was just when there was a training angel. There was an angel that was training. The angels was training, and Moro kind of looked at the angel, kind of stole his power. So now there's the power of the angels, and they have to and Goku kind of has to go further and like master Ultra Instinct because remember in the Universal Survival arc he couldn't master it. Now this is about his arc about mastering it. On top of that, Vegeta learns how to do Ultra Instinct, instant transmission, because he has to learn that and do some more energy fusion, and then he just never used it again. So the arc has okay. Hopefully the anime fixes his faults because the manga is written differently than the anime, even in all the other arcs of Super. So maybe the anime can fix up what happened. But my favorite part of the manga was just when they were talking about Oob, because now Super is more canon, more canon with Dragon Ball Z. So Goku learns about Oob, and who Oob is resurrected, is the reincarnation of Kid Buu. And my favorite part is when they have to do this. It's like a spirit. It's not a spirit bomb. It's the Vegeta that spirit training Vegeta learned is able to use like the power of the planet to kill Moro, which was like I said, I'm hoping like the anime fixes some of its faults, but the best part is that they don't have enough energy, and then like the Majin Buu Kai, the Kai that I'm gonna call him the Majin Buu Kai, sorry, kind of like lifts like Oob in the air, and Oob has so much energy that Oob's energy was enough, like so strong that it was able to give Goku enough energy to kill Moro. And I like that because it kind of builds the character of Oob and how strong Oob really is. I think once they get to the end of Z, and they start talking about more after the end of Z, I believe that's when they'll start. They're gonna flesh out Oob's character way better than GT did. Another thing is, I think, and the anime is going to come back in the end of Z. This is a hot take. The reason is I think the Galactic Patrol arc and the next arc, which we're gonna about to talk about, is gonna be turned into movies. I just strongly believe that, and that we're gonna get a whole anime series later, probably 4 years or whatever, whenever they decide to do it. Is probably gonna be starting from the end of Z. And now the last one we're gonna tier is the Granola the Survivor arc. Another spoiler warning. I already said it earlier. This is I'm gonna give it in the high C tier. I think it's going to be there. The reason is, I think this arc was all over the place. This arc was all over the place. Vegito learns Ultra Ego. I think the way Granola gets his powers is very lazy, right? Is a lot of lazy writing. He just wishes to be the strongest in the universe, and he just becomes the strongest in the universe, which is stupid. But the fights are really good. The fights are really good in the manga. The villain was C tier as best. I didn't like the villain, but the best part of this arc, of this manga chapters, of like manga arc, was when Frieza came in and became the solidified best character of Dragon Ball, when he became Black Frieza and one-shotted Goku and Vegeta in their ultimate forms. And that's it. That was the best part. That's the most memorable part to me of this saga. Everything else just felt like I just didn't care. Granola as a character was decent in the beginning, then I just didn't care. But it would have been a D tier if that ending Frieza part was so good that I'm putting it at C tier. It hits another grade. So yeah, so that's then the superhero. So the next arc is technically the superhero saga. To be honest, I did read the manga, and I'm going to put it at C tier, top of C tier. Cool moments. Gohan goes Gohan Beast. This is the manga, right? So the movie is gonna be differently. I'm gonna tier the movie a little bit differently. So don't think I'm also gonna tier this C as a movie, but as a manga arc, it's gonna be a C tier. The only differences between the movie is that Goten and Trunks have a lot more character development here, so they become like great Saiyamans, and they are involved in the plot more. I think that happens in the movie too, but the story of them becoming great Saiyamans are like fleshed out more in the manga. That's it. That's the only difference between that. But yeah, this is what's happening here. Maybe they're not gonna be movies, because if Superhero Saga was a movie, that would mean it's after the Galactic Patrol arc, which they would have to go backwards with movies. So maybe they're not gonna become movies. Maybe I don't know what happened to them. They might become games or exclusive or never touched on again. But this is a tier list, guys. I gave you guys a whopping hour. So this is the tier list here. About over an hour, and most of it was talking about this Universal Survival arc, which is staying at Z tier. Vegeta Saga, still my second favorite. Before the Universe Saga came, it was my favorite, but this is my second favorite. The Frieza Saga was also, stays there. Majin Buu Saga, those moments with Vegeta and Goku turn Super Saiyan 3 and Vegeta sacrificing himself, Z tier moments. The Gohan moment was Z tier. And the fights were good, so I already explained most of these. I'm not going to explain them again. It's over an hour. Future Trunks. Yeah, I'm leaving all this. Staying there. Kid Buu Saga, staying there saga. Yeah, Baby Saga. Everything's staying the same. Yep. The A tier stay the same. B tiers, I would think the Universe 6 saga is a little bit better than. Nah, I think the Galactic Patrol arc is better. Imperfect Cell saga is probably better than both of them combined. Um, Namek Saga, nah. God of Destruction Saga was there. No, we're leaving it there. Raditz Saga, yeah, we can leave Raditz Saga there. So that's how B tier is gonna look. C tier, the Superhero Saga. I still think the end of Z is the highest of C tier. Superhero Saga was better than 17 Saga. They're both kind of the same. We could leave that there. The Granola Survival Arc Saga is probably the back. Oh no, I would put it there. I would put it here. I would leave it there. Android Saga, Captain Ginyu Saga, Great Saiyaman Saga, D tier. Not bad. I'll put it high C tier. It wasn't bad. This is F. I would put this in F. The Garlic Jr. I cared not one bit about it. The Black Star Dragon Ball Saga was okay because it mainly established more Pam as a character, and I think that was fun. Also, the Goku fight when Goku's fighting the general dude in the slime, that wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. So I'm gonna leave it at D tier. That's the only thing, the saving grace of it. I was a little too hard on the Frieza saga. It's not an F. I'll give it a D tier. Now that I think about it, a little bit of the parts like when Ginyu came back and they brought Ginyu back from the frog thing. It did make me feel a little bit better. So and then they kind of changed it up where the soldier was actually trained by Frieza instead of like the movie where he just got killed by Frieza in the beginning. So I'm gonna give it a D tier. I'm gonna give it a D tier. And the Golden Frieza, even though we seen it as a movie, it was it was there. And then the other two are just staying F tier. So I think the Garlic Jr. was the worst. The little copy Vegeta thing, it had its moments. It wasn't that bad. Actually, it wasn't that bad. I'm not gonna put F tier. I'm gonna put a D tier. It was horrible filler though. It was horrible filler. Yeah, it was F tier. F plus. How about that? The rest is gonna stay there because I'm not. These are gonna be on different tier lists, right? So other than that, guys, I gave you guys. This is about an hour. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, like, so we can get more views on the videos and everything, more support for the channel because we got a lot more coming, man. So peace out. I'll see you guys later. Peace.